So I had this perfect plan. It was more like a spur of the moment plan. It was in between jobs, and I thought I'll go to this beautiful park with this nice scenery and shoot video, and the wind just wouldn't let up. So I'm in the car. So bear with me, guys. But here's the topic for today: the need to be right, or having to always be right. Well, gee, I have some experience with this. I love to be right. I think a lot of us like to be right. We like to feel justified and like our perspective is the way, it is the truth. But where this can make a mess is in our interpersonal relationships with our spouse or significant other, or with our kids, close friends, coworkers. And there's a lot of value in having humility and in being humble to put that need down. So when you get into a conflict with someone, start to take notice of how you are speaking. Are you starting your statements with I or with you? And it sounds maybe overly simplistic, but I've learned a lot about the importance of starting your statements with I. And oftentimes when our conflict comes in is when you are approaching everything with the statement you, and the other person is also doing the same thing back to you. So what you have as a result is this sort of headbutting clash, and you're not getting any resolution at all, and it brings up defensiveness and anger and feeling like you're not heard and feeling like you're not appreciated and like you're not seen, and then it just blows up. And what I've been finding more and more in my own life is that the more that I can move to a place of I'm sorry I offended you, or I'm sorry I hurt you, that's not what I meant, or that's not how I thought I was coming across, that's, and starting to say I feel. We can't argue with someone's feelings, but where that can become confusing is if someone hears I feel, and then they immediately take that as the truth. They take that as that is the way that you are now seeing them, and it's an attack on their character. You see what I mean? So if I say I feel whatever, you're just talking about your feelings. And we need to differentiate between what is feeling and what is fact. So your feelings are true. Your feelings are real. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are in fact what is going on. They are your feelings. You absolutely can voice them, and they are true and real. But is it the fact? Well, the other person has their feelings in response to you. They have their perspective. You have your perspective. What's the truth? So I think what we got to do is to be able to speak our feelings. That's our truth. And our perspectives may be different. But if we can voice our feelings and perspectives and then say, okay, now how can we move through this? You felt this way, I felt this way. How can we now reach an understanding of where the other was coming from so that we can move past this? And it's just, I think, acknowledging and recognizing where you're coming from, what you're feeling, why you're feeling that way. That provides understanding and compassion and the ability to reach resolution and to move forward and to heal. So in that process, if you start to stop defending yourself and move to that place of offering an apology and validating how the person feels, as well as speaking your truth, which are your feelings, that can immediately stop this headbutting conflict of you are this and no, you're this and so on, so that we can start to put the ego down, the need to be right down, and reach resolution. And I found when I do that in my own life, the escalation of a conflict stops and things start to come down. So I encourage you to try that. And it's not easy because the ego wants to be right. The ego wants to be the one that's like, say, it was me, it was all me. I'm the one who's right. I got the answers. It's your fault. The ego loves that. The ego does not want to back down and to be put in his place. And I have felt that when I am making that shift during a conflict, there's this pull where the ego's like, no, 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 don't admit that, don't say that. But when I do, the situation radically turns around, and instead of it being this long drawn out thing, you can stop it in its tracks, and you allow this space for healing, and you allow this space for understanding. And I think that is a wonderful gift that you can give to yourself and give to the other person. So just a little bit of insight. I hope that helps you there. And let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you, and I do value you, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe if you would like. That'd be great. And that's it for today's message. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Talk to you soon.